vibe coding platform Replit just took the lead. It just took the lead. So they announced Agent 3. This is basically an overhaul of the platform, the AI itself. Replit is a vibe coding platform. And I really like it. I'll leave links down below, affiliate links, just to FYI. I really like it. I've often started a lot of my apps inside of Replit because I feel like it's really great for just architecting an app, like getting it up and running without having to worry about all the individual components. It's really, really good for that. So I built the AI, I really fucking hate AI app inside of Replit. And you're seeing Agent 3 right now, actually. It has everything built in. So you've got databases built in, which other platforms don't. And it's a Neon database, so still third party, but it integrates really well with Neon. It's got authorization built in. It's got secrets, which is what a lot of other platforms like Lovable, like Bolt, all of these other platforms, they don't really have a lot of the integrations. I describe this as the web flow of vibe coding platforms. It's got everything built in. You don't need to worry about anything. I've since moved, this is still in Replit, but other apps where I take it beyond the prototype, I then export it, bring it into Claude Code and do this, that, and the other. I always criticize Replit because it was very overwhelming. Look at all these tabs that I've got going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very over. And if I actually just keep closing these, maybe this is what I was going for. It starts to get a bit more familiar with people from Lovable, where you've got the main agent space here where you'll just chatting, and it will just build it out. But you also do just have this tablature thing, which is unique to Replit, where I can start to dig into not only some of the features it has, like assistant secrets, authorization, storage, publishing, all that stuff, but I can also look at files and actually go into the code and start. It's just a bit more like nuance. You can really dig deep into it. But the simplification that you can see right now is something new to Replit 3. It's got actually app testing built into it. So, and with this max autonomy feature, which you basically just trust it. It's like YOLO mode in Cursor or whatever. You just can let it run for up to 200 minutes. Not quite sure how they're doing that from an API standpoint, which I think they use Claude.
Yeah.
And it's a really just a welcome addition. I think they've tackled that aspect where it becomes overwhelming. It's still, from a design perspective, I still don't think it's as friendly. And I'm talking about UI rather than UX. Still not as friendly as some of like Lovable and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, it's by far and away a lot better. If you can just get over that aspect, it can do a lot more for you, I think, as a vibe coding platform. So, and what was also quite interesting and more from a broad perspective in this live stream is they're trying to encourage you to think more and more about building these apps to encourage your day-to-day usage of AI. So rather than, again, going to a corporation, buying a subscription to a SaaS app, build your own friggin' app, and they were reiterating, Matt Palmer would just reiterating this of like just building these apps just to help you through your day and encouraging that mindset and mentality, which is what Claude did with archives or artifacts.
Yeah, artifacts.
What they're talking about, just building applications to help you get your work done for yourself. So that was quite an interesting conversation that they were encouraging through the live stream. But overall, really, really good set of features. And it comes off of the back of a $3 billion valuation, raising $250 million in a Series D round of funding. So they're on the up,
I think Replit is a really cool product for the next generation of makers, people who are going around finding problems and trying to solve them. And I believe it's not meant to to be used to solve problems for millions of people or even hundreds of thousands of people.
Couldn't agree more.
It might be actually solving a problem for 3 people, and I actually mean it for 3 people. So imagine like there is a company of 20 or a company of 50, and 3 people on a higher position, they use a few different products to do something specific about their business, and it bothers them, and we have enough example of this. Like, the just go to any business and see what software they use. It's absolute trash. So what next generations of makers, I like to call, could do is going to these businesses, finding these problems, and building a prototype or even a working MVP for them, and even might be able to finish it off and just package it and give it to them working just fine, because it doesn't have to be scalable. It doesn't have to be to have like the cleanest code. It doesn't have to have all the standards. If it's something internal used by a few people to solve a very specific problem. So I think
Mm,
for that, Replit is amazing, and it can actually lead to you to become like a engineer, because that's where you start, and then you
mm,
understand, like, you learn problem solving, and you just take it from there. You learn from the AI, and I can very well imagine that you start with Replit and end up with something like Cursor within a
mm.
year.
Mm. I mean, like, I keep encouraging you to use. You're stubborn in using Cursor and wanting to use Cursor, but I
Yeah,
think these are great platforms to learn the ropes of architecture. If you're willing to really,
I
put
like
the time in to
maximizing.
learn, you can max.
Yeah,
You've got max mode. I'll show you that. You got
yeah,
max
but
mode.
with Cursor, I have just so much control, and I have this like ease of mixing Cursor with Webflow. And
Yeah.
I like to keep, the hosting on Webflow for the majority of the things that I do, because I'm already paying. I already am familiar with the platform, and I have the max control over the looks.
Mm, mm,
You know,
mm.
if I want to change something in the looks of what I'm building, I just change it directly in Webflow, and the functionality is what I'm building with Cursor. That's why I'm so stubborn with that.
The only thing I would tweak about what you were saying. You were talking about makers going and companies solving the problem for three people. Their encouragement was really looking at yourself and looking at your own problems to solve, because you all have different needs. You also all have different requirements. And if, yes, it takes a certain mindset to you know build yourself a tool.
I want to build a tool for my cocktails that I make on the weekend. So for
Yeah,
my for
yeah.
my family and
Well, like
friends,
an app that they can order.
I want to have like my own order. Like I have a specific way of making it, and I
Yeah,
want to do it
do
my
it.
own way.
Well, so
Yeah,
everyone can chill out and just order a cocktail and it will come up on your
with their phone, and like yeah, and I will make it, and then I
hey,
ask my brother
exactly.
to deliver it to them.
Yeah,
So I
because
think
half the
that would
time,
be.
everyone's got all these problems. What I was going to say is you need to be tuned in to realizing, oh, I can build an app to solve these problems, and we're certainly
Yes,
in tune with that world. But their message out really was like, anyone, just look at what you're doing, try and think of how an app, something you do repetitively, the automation aspect, just how can you make your life easier by building an app? You asked me a question last week, and a lot of my focus on the responding to that was like, what's their need? Have you spoken to them? Whatever. I think our industry is completely saturated with people trying to read the minds of society, where truth is they haven't got the foggiest idea. So you need to go out and you need to speak to people and find their problems. The chances oh, I've got a great idea for an app, and you think it's going to be good and blah 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 blah, but you've not gone out and spoken to anyone about it. The likelihood that app is going to succeed is next to nothing. We're in this
yes,
delusional world at the moment, which, again, going back to this video by Dave Shapiro, sort of alludes to as like, we're so insular right now. We think the world is kind of like just not going out and speaking to people, just not going out and trying to solve problems for real people. We think that we can just come up with it. And low-key, I don't want to go into it too much, but I've been thinking a lot today about the quality of developers that have gone completely freelance versus quality of developers that have actually worked in an organization. And I don't know about you in design, but for me, developers who have worked inside of an organization are leaps and bounds like better than those who have just always done um, freelance, because they've just never learned anything outside of their own comfort zone or little bubble sort of thing. So again, don't know where I was going with that, but it's just this idea of I don't know where I was going with that, but there we
I
go.
know.
just nattering on as per usual.
This is part of a larger conversation on my show, Cmd+AI, which we stream live every single week. We discuss the news and all things related to AI in the world of design and web. Catch us next week and join in the banter.